Manitoba Liquor Marts presents The Great Tastes of Manitoba.
Hi everyone, thanks very much for tuning in this evening. I'm Jim Ingebrigtsen. Welcome to Great Tastes of Manitoba, and there are always great tastes when Karen Armstrong from the Manitoba Chicken Producers shows up on the show, and as she has for, well, 2-3 years now.
A few years, yes.
And of course, Alun Bowness from Manitoba Liquor Marts, and both of us are always looking forward to, well, anything that you create, but tell us what you're doing today.
We're doing 3 really simple dishes. We're doing a pizza, we're doing a margarita chicken breast, and then we're doing a very simple pot pie.
Ooh, wow.
Everyday fare.
All sounds good, especially that part where she said simple.
Well, and it all does sound really good, and sometimes, you know, we like to do things differently to bring match to it, but I think I might go with something traditional for this. And, so we'll see.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
Al. Off you go, and off we go, Karen.
All right. So let's get started. We're doing the pizza first, and this is a chicken leek and tomato pizza. Very simple. Very simple ingredients. And I want to talk a little bit about one of the ingredients. This is a leek, and it's a member of the onion family. We're only going to use the white to the very pale green part, and we're going to thinly slice that and then saute it along with our chicken.
Can you use the darker part?
You can use the darker part, but not for this particular recipe. For the chicken, we're using boneless, skinless chicken thighs, very lean, and I want to show you a little trick for cutting them. Our instinct when we're making strips is to cut this way. All right, but for this particular recipe, and anything really when you're doing like a stir-fry strip, where you want something that's thin and uniform, quick cooking, I like to cut it this way.
Oh, okay, that's...
Yeah, so that you get short strips, and because of the way that the muscle works on the thigh, they're much more even. And so they're going to...
Even and tender?
Even and tender, yes. Always chicken thighs are very tender, but when you're cutting them this way, they'll always be a uniform thickness, and that helps with quick cooking.
Interesting little tip.
Which is what we've got going here. I've got the thighs in, and these are our leeks. I put the chicken in first, and you want it to be almost completely cooked before you add the leeks, and then the leeks go in, and they look like nice little circles.
Those are nice.
Kind of cute.
So everything is actually cut quite
very
thinly,
thin,
including the chicken.
Exactly. And so then you just want to cook until the leeks soften up. So this is just about perfect.
Because it's going to cook just a little bit more once it's in the oven.
Exactly. That's right. And so for a pizza crust, I'm using a flatbread. Very simple. You buy them at the store already like this, or you could use a pre-baked pizza crust. Will work very well also.
Naan bread, how about that?
That would work. Slightly different flavor. It'd be an interesting flavor to try. Absolutely. And then on top of this, just a little bit of shredded Parmesan cheese. And then I'll get you to just put the rest of this on, and then I'll show you what we're going to top it with.
Okay, we don't need all of this, I don't think, do we?
This is enough to make 2 pizzas. So half of this would be beautiful, and then you can just kind of, the leeks kind of look like little spaghetti, so they hang around the pan. So yeah, this does make 2 pizzas.
All right.
Yeah, so perfect. Now you're just going to grab those cherry tomatoes that I've cut in half, and just put the cherry tomatoes on. Just like, yep, there we go. And as many or as little cherry tomatoes as you like. If you can't find cherry tomatoes, then you can always use a Roma tomato. Those are the ones that are very meaty, not a lot of seeds in them, and just chop it. Because sometimes cherry tomatoes are not always in season. Oh, that looks fantastic.
That's close.
Excellent. And then more Parmesan cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
little more cheese on top of that. And that's going to go into a 450-degree oven for as long as it takes for the crust to get crispy and the cheese to melt.
Well, that wouldn't take very long.
No, it's a very quick piece.
10 minutes tops, probably.
Probably. Yeah, because the flatbread's already cooked. And if you wanted to do your own homemade pizza dough, then obviously it's going to take a little bit longer to cook because you've got to cook the dough completely. Right. So there you have it, the very simple chicken pizza. It makes 2 pizzas. The other thing in the summertime, what do you think about barbecuing this?
Oh, that would work. Yeah, I've still never barbecued a pizza on the grill, but I know you can do it, and it would. I think that would be
it's fantastic.
Now, would you sprinkle any spices or anything on there, or is that just
a little bit of salt and pepper is nice. The leeks give it a sort of a lemony flavor, really, really nice. And then the cherry tomatoes, you get that little bit of a pop in the and the burst of cherry flavor or tomato flavor.
Right.
So I wouldn't put any additional seasonings on this. I suppose if you wanted to, if you've got a lot of fresh basil, particularly in the summertime when the basil is growing fresh in the garden, a little bit of chopped basil might be nice. But really, it's fabulous just the way it is. And again, if you want to make it even quicker, so this is not a long recipe to make. Even quicker, use cooked chicken if you're getting one of those rotisserie chickens from the store.
Oh yeah, sure,
that would work. That would work. And you only really need about half of one of those rotisserie chickens to do these 2 pizzas.
But you could also use, say if you had some left over, or you just make it as you have with the leek and the chicken, you could use that in any one of probably 1,000 other little recipes.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And this is great as a meal, or you can use it as an appetizer if you're having a few people over for a little bit of an after work thing. It's perfect. Okay, so we'll get you to put those in the oven.
Yeah.
And I'm just actually, you know, I'm going to add some cheese to this one, and we'll get both of these cooking.
Okay. And then we're going to take a quick break. We're going to move on, and recipe number 2 is going to be?
It's margarita chicken breasts.
Margarita chicken breasts.
A little tequila.
Ooh. We'll take care of this, and we'll be back with margarita right after this.